gentlemen, I just want to weigh in on the whole Floyd Kephart situation, because Kephart, I believe it was Kephart on Twitter, and it was Kephart in an article a couple of days ago who weighed in and said, okay, now, thanks to the Board of Supervisors President Scott Haggerty, they're going to get a deal and talk to the county, and there are people in the media interpreting this as if to say they have finally a deal with the Raiders. Let me clear all of this up for you, okay? I've said this before, I'll say it again, but this time I'm going to say it much, much more aggressively. This is not rocket science, okay? It's very simple. You have money, you buy land, you get an architect, do feasibility study, you get a contractor, you have financiers that pay for the construction with the contractor, the architect designs and the contractor wants to build, pay so the contractor can get going, and the thing is built, and it generates revenue to operate itself. Basically, it's that simple. You're building a fucking series of buildings. Or let me put it even more bluntly and simply. You're building a fucking building. That's really all it is. What makes it complicated are the politicians that are involved who refuse to either appoint a leader to head the whole enchilada, okay, or respect the people that are there who are leaders already, like the head of economic development for the City of Oakland, for example. All right, let me push that aside for one moment and get back to Mr. Kephart. Floyd doesn't have a button of money to spend to acquire land, even quietly, to begin to say that he can build Coliseum City, even just a little bit, even, building A, B, C, and D in the plan. He doesn't have that. He's going to respond, well, I don't have the county. Well, look, not having the county is not a new thing. I have blogged about this and vlogged about this before. I said in one blog, I laid out how we need to have a task force with the city and the county there, and the county comes in, lays out the land that it has, we do a deal with the county right there at the table. I wrote that 4 or 5 months ago. That's old. The bottom line is this. Floyd and the people he was involved with, and the mayor has helped them along with this, and finally said, hey, look, you need the county at the table. We've always known that. We knew that before we got a new executive director of the JPA, who I'm very happy is there. But you can't have a deal at Coliseum. You can't have a Coliseum City without the county. You just can't. Now, where the city screwed up was not and where Mark Davis, the Raiders, screwed up equally, and Mark Bourdain, who's now president, equally screwed up, is not insisting on having different sites around the city of Oakland, our city, identified as potential sites for the Raiders. Big time screw up. If they're really serious about they being the Raiders brass currently the Raiders brass, really serious about keeping the Raiders in Oakland, they would have done that a long time ago. They would have hooked up with a real estate broker. They would have established contact themselves with the Oakland Economic Development Agency. And the reason why I harp on the idea the Raiders don't know what they're doing is because that's what you do. When you want to build something, you not just go to the politicians, you go to the economic development people, the city, you go to the planning and building departments, you lay out what you want to do, you work with them. It's not rocket science, folks. Hello? It's not. What this all underscores is, I'm going to be very blunt, you have people with titles involved in this who don't know what they're doing, but they're too afraid to admit it. And they're too afraid to get out of the way and let people handle it who do know what they're doing. Because they're afraid of the credit. Oh my God, is this person involved in all this stuff? Stuff that, frankly speaking, a 14-year-old would be worried about, or a 24-year-old. But instead we're dealing with people who are in their 40s and 50s and 60s and 70s. This is crazy stuff. I'm going to say this right straight out. As far as I'm concerned, we deserve to lose the Raiders and the A's the way we've handled this. It's not great, folks. It's always a discussion of who said what to whom. Oh, what did Mr. Kephart say? Oh, what did this council member say? Oh, what did this board of supervisor member say? Who fucking cares? Where are we in building a stadium for the Raiders? Where are we in getting the financing? Kephart doesn't have that money. If he did, again, he would have started acquiring land a long time ago. That financing plan they have out there that Zach Wasserman thinks no one has seen, bullshit. People have seen it, okay? That financing plan that you guys have got out there does not include industrial development bond financing, and it leans on the city for public assistance where it should not need to. That's just some of its problems. And yet they're so secretive, like, oh my God, this is the A-bomb. Oh, we don't want, you don't want anybody to see. Oh, come on, get off it. Please. This garbage is silly. Absolutely insane. I'll tell you this. Kephart should have one more month to produce money to build this thing. He doesn't have it. Out. Do a design-build competition. Go on a market for developer, architect, financier combinations. Have a contest. Lay out a model. Build some excitement for it. Oh, and for a 70,000 seat stadium, not a 55,000 seat stadium. When Mark Davis keeps yelling about a 55,000 seat stadium, if you see Mr. Davis in person, tell him, knock it off. You can't get a Super Bowl that way. The NFL is not going to pay money to do that because, and not only that, it's wrong for him to say that he wants a 55,000 seat stadium in Oakland and not say that for LA. That's a smokescreen. Because in LA, because a stadium like that just doesn't pencil. It doesn't it doesn't appropriately pencil out. It doesn't pay for itself. The NFL wants its G3 money back in the form of a Super Bowl. The NFL is not going to have a Super Bowl that seats 60,000 seats. And if the Raiders come back and say, well, we'll add 30,000 seats, 25,000 seats, do you know what the cost of that's going to be? For one time? That doesn't make any sense. That's crazy. All right? Absolutely nuts. So I hope you understand what I'm saying. I hope you get it. We're not headed in the right direction. It's like a bad reality TV show. When was the last time you heard of any organization giving you an update of where they were? Nothing. People have to guess. They have to have these little gossip sessions. Like, this is like the Pretty Little Liars or something. And yes, I'm absolutely aware of what I'm saying. Because I am that tired of seeing this. It is horrible. Oh, and I might add, what makes it even worse is the fact that the people in the media don't know development. They don't know the right questions to ask. They don't know what to report. Oh, and what makes it even more horrible than that are the politicians paying attention to traditional media, what little exists, and thinking that everybody knows what's going on because it was on this, channel, let's say Channel 5 or, locally. A person, you know how many people see a telecast on Channel 5 on a nightly basis? 5,000. That's it. Hey, I can put out a YouTube video that does better than that. Give me a break.